We got a little pony head in the vise, a little underspin on it. A lot of people ask me about this. Is it hard to tie? Is it difficult? Here's my number one tip when you're going to tie this little bitty jig. Is put it going downhill at an angle to help keep that blade out of your way. And a lot of people I will get messages here pretty soon saying, just take the blade off. Man, my fingers don't work that good to take that blade off that little bitty snap ring, or to take the snap ring off that. I don't want to. It's hard on my hands, hard on my fingers. So I'm just gonna leave it on, but I'm gonna tilt it downhill so that way the blade kind of stays out of my way as I'm tying this jig. We're gonna go a crazy color here. We're gonna go white chartreuse and pink thread. We got 210 denier. We're gonna start right here behind the head. I'm gonna wrap it. It's gonna be pretty similar to all the other jigs, except for you don't have a lot of room in this jig. So whatever chenille you're gonna use, it's not gonna be very much. It's gonna be very little. And you kind of got to be careful that you're not going to end up going over top that neck of that jig. So we're going to be using rubber in this. And this is some of the rubber I've gotten ready to do some bluegill jigs. I know I told y'all another bluegill jig be coming up, but I kind of need to do this. I've had several people requesting this, and we're just going to tie it up. We got approximately... Well, let's just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 11 strands of rubber silicone skirt material I'm gonna put in that on this bait. I'm gonna cut it just a little bit longer than that hook, about half that. We're gonna take this thread and we're gonna catch all that rubber material right there. I'll kind of push it down with my fingers. So I want to make sure it makes it all the way around. We're gonna go right to the point of the hook, and we're gonna come back up. Like I said, I'm keeping this kind of tight. We're gonna end up putting a little bit of a drop of glue right here on the side of this head to help hold that chenille down. And when I say glue, I'm talking about Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. I'll put a little drop right there, and hopefully that's gonna get everything held in. It's gonna keep that chenille on. I don't have any thoughts really that chenille is gonna come off, but it's just kind of an assurance kind of thing. So we're gonna tie that chenille in all the way back here in the back. We're gonna come up here and we're gonna let that bobbin hang down. And actually, I'm not gonna use the rotary function on this. I'm gonna just twist it on by hand. And you can see, it's not gonna take much. And we went right, I just hit that glue spot on the side of that head. I'm gonna go over one more time and I'm gonna snug it down in there pretty good. And we're gonna go around that side of the chenille, right there around the head. You see, I'm kind of building it up on the neck of that jig, and that's what I want. We're gonna pull that chenille over one more time. I'm gonna pull it over one more time past that. Now we got it secured down on there. I'm gonna cut that chenille off. I'm gonna wrap it a couple more times. Be getting your UV resin ready, because that's what we're gonna use to cure this thread right here on the base on this neck. So we got a white and chartreuse tail. We got a white body, a pink neck, a chartreuse eye, and an underspin. And I'm keeping that whip finish staying on top of my thread. We'll pull it off, we'll pop it out, nice and smooth. We're gonna go one more knot on that. You can find these underspin heads. I know you can get them at Walmart. Already be ready to use. We're gonna change it. We're gonna adjust it downhill just a little bit more. It's kind of cold down here, Simone. Well, it ain't that bad. I thought my UV resin was gonna be pretty thick. We're gonna brush that resin on that thread all the way around it. Might as well just, you're gonna do it, you might as well go across the eyes too, just to keep protected. These are store-bought ones, so I don't know, I didn't do them, so I don't know how good that paint's gonna hold on those eyes, but we're just gonna brush it anyway. We're gonna take that UV light, we're gonna finish it up. Tell me that ain't a cool looking little underspin. Man, I want to use this one during the spawn. That would be a good spawner right there. Underspin jigs. They can be tied. You're going to tie them just like you do a normal one. You're going to make a little collar right there on the neck for it. That's the only tricky part of it. The only tricky other part, make it run downhill. Keep that blade out of your way. Unless you got the fingers and you want to take them off, take them off. I know they make tools to do it. I don't want to get that tool. I'm perfectly fine and happy doing it just like this. It works out for me. It always has. When I'm tying an underspin jig, that is how they will always be tied, just like that. At the very beginning of that jig, when I started wrapping that chenille on, I seen it turn just a little bit. I don't have a whole lot there holding that on. So I kept the tension on it, pulled it on, put the UV resin on, and now the rest, the UV resin, that little bit of Sally Hansen's will do its job now and secure all that. Let me know what you think about that underspin jig. Was it worth it? Is it cool? Would you fish with it? I would. There's not a doubt in my mind I would fish that bait. My favorite way to fish these underspin baits are when the crappie are up really shallow, and I'll just flip that thing right up in the mud on the bank and just slowly drag it right across the water. As soon as it hits the water, that blade's hitting the rocks, then it starts to spinning. That's my favorite way of catching spawning crappie right there, is with that bait and that little underspin jig. Like this video, share it, thumbs up, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. It helps me out. Guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about it.